Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Major League Baseball Academy Barons.
For the first time here in the summer of 2025, we are coming to you live from the MLB Urban Youth Academy here on the city of Compton as we bring you the action from tonight's exhibition as your Academy Barons will take on the visiting Malibu Marlins. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. The Barons will play their first official game later this week on Friday, June 6th. However, today we will get a preview as we get a look at what this year's Barons roster will look like during the California Collegiate League season. Again, the game today between the Malibu Marlins and the Academy Barons, a scrimmage as you see both head coaches talking to the three umpires ahead of this evening's game. And thanks for joining us wherever you may be joining us or whether you're watching the replay at a later date. The Barons will be in their blue uniforms with the white bottoms. The Malibu Marlins will be in their black uniforms with the white bottoms. Looks like the meeting at home plate is over, and we will take a quick commercial break for the national anthem. We'll be back with the first inning as well as starting lineups for both these teams. Don't go anywhere, folks. Back here on the MLB Urban Youth Academy's YouTube channel. My name is Noah Alvarez. Technically not the first game of the season. That'll be Friday, June 6th. However, this is an exhibition game between the Malibu Marlins and your Academy Barons. As the Barons take the field, let's go ahead and get you the starting lineups, starting with the visiting Marlins. Batting first and playing shortstop is Ethan Pena. Batting the two spot at second baseman, Ethan Granillo. Batting third and playing first base is Jake Hiroki. In the cleanup spots, the DH Joey Replogle. Brandon McClure will play left field and bat fifth. In the sixth spot, it's Christian Gastelum who will play center field. Batting seventh and playing right is Jacob Rosenfield. Eric Gonzalez will be behind the plate doing the catching duties and bat eighth. And rounding out the order in the ninth spot is Caden Dizon Sanchez playing third base. We'll go ahead and get you the starting defense for the Academy Barons, who we'll see first of in the top of the first inning. On the mound, wearing number 50, it's a right-hander by the name of Isaac Fernandez. Went to Downey High School, spent this past spring as a redshirt for Fullerton College. So we'll get a chance to look at the big right-hander for the first time this summer. Stands at 6'3", weighs 250 pounds on the roster, and we'll get you the defense behind him. Behind home plate, it's Isaac Ocampo. He'll do the catching duties, back for his second summer with the Barons after spending last spring with the Golden West Rustlers. Over at first base, it's Jordan Carrington. At second base, we have Nathaniel Williams. At shortstop, J.J. Nielsen. Over at third base, it's Colin Taylor. In the outfield from left to right, Antonio Lujan, Tommy Gooden. Oh, and in right, it's Jacob Klinowski. Again, that's the starting lineup, starting defense for both the Malibu Marlins and the Academy Barons. The Barons are in the blue uniforms with the white bottoms. Again, the Marlins will be in their black uniforms. Always exciting to be here doing another game for the Barons. Last season, they finished 13-23 in the 2024 campaign. A lot of new faces, but some familiar faces as well here on the roster. We mentioned Isaac Ocampo played last summer. We also saw Colin Tainer play a lot of third base in the infield last summer for the Barons. A few other players, too, not starting in the lineup. Oh, Jacob Konofsky did play a lot of right field last year, as they're going to call time. Looks like Klonowski's over in right field, making sure one of the doors is closed. So Fernandez will step off. Just about ready for first pitch. Couple minutes past the 6:05 designated start time. We'll get you the umpire names later on in the broadcast. First pitch from Fernandez plunks Pena. So Pena will be awarded first base after the hit by pitch. Leadoff runner here. So Pena's aboard first base. Now we'll see the two-hitter, Ethan Granillo, two Ethans, leading things off for the Marlins. Fernandez will work from the stretch, kicks, deals. This one misses high. Again, Fernandez went to Downey High School, not too far here from the campus of Compton College. 1-0 the count. Small lead over at first base by Pena. This one is fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike to Granillo. Granillo wears number 19 as he fouls off another one. He's a freshman at Pierce College over in the San Fernando Valley area. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. Pena still a small lead over at first base. Carrington, the defender, holding him. 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball that Ocampo thought was strike 3, but just missed the zone. Two balls and 2 strikes. Fernandez checks on the runner. Nobody out here in the top of the first. This one misses high and wide. Runs the count full. We'll see if the runner is in motion. In case you missed it, Pena was hit by the first pitch of the ball game. He's over at first base. Small lead. 3-2 pitch from Fernandez. This one skies up into the air, but it's going to drift foul. Batter on deck is the first baseman, Jake Hiroki. And the Marlins are coming from the Golden Coast Collegiate League, another summer league team out here in the California area. An exhibition game between these two before their seasons get started. 3-2, the breaking ball misses the zone. Ocampo has a quick chat with the home plate umpires. That looked like a good pitch from our angle here, but it's ruled ball 4. Runners at first and second. Now we'll see the first baseman, Jake Hiroki. Hiroki wears number 22. Currently uncommitted, sophomore in the transfer portal. Skies this one up into the air, drifting into foul territory. Carrington running back towards the wall, makes the catch as he collides into the wall. Both runners are going to tag. Carrington decides to throw over to third base. Both runners do advance. A long run by Carrington, the first baseman. And he made a tough catch, crashing into the wall, but both runners decided to make a heads-up base running play and advance over 90 feet. So now 2 runners in scoring position for the Marlins here in the top of the first. So now they're going to tell to throw over to Carrington at first base, as if one of the runners left maybe a tad early. Hard to tell from our angle. We were focused on the catch that Carrington made over in foul territory. 1 out, runners on second and third. Infield will play back. Here's the first pitch to the DH, Joey Replogle. Fernandez delivers a ball a bit high. 1-0 the count. This one smoked on the ground over into right field. Klinowski will have to play it off a couple hops, so no problem for Pena. He hits his cutoff man. Carrington holds the ball, and there's runners on first and third here in the top of the first, and the Marlins do strike first. 1-0 is the score. So an RBI single drives in Ethan Pena. He was hit by a pitch on the very first pitch of the game. Granillo worked via the walk. He's over at third base. Hiroki flied out, but it advanced both runners in 90 feet as Carrington had to make a catch up against the wall. Now we'll see the left-handed hitting left fielder, Brendan McClure, wearing number 5. 1 out, still in the inning. First pitch from Fernandez, misses outside. McClure is a freshman from Sonoma State. A few players from Sonoma State on the roster. A couple on the roster for the Academy Barons as well. This one misses high and wide, and Ocampo fumbles it momentarily, but not far enough away from him for the runner to advance. Runners on first and third. Sonoma State was in the news earlier this year in January. They announced that they are going to discontinue all 11 of their athletic programs due to a budget deficit. So Sonoma State will no longer have sports programs after this past school year. There's a strike on the outer half. 2 balls and 1 strike to McClure. So players like McClure will have to find new homes. There's also a couple players on the Barons roster we mentioned. Hudson La Barbera, a pitcher from Sonoma State, as well as Jason Del Villar. Tapped foul into the netting. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two count. Fernandez kicks, deals. The breaking ball misses the back door. Runs the count full. We'll see if the runner is in motion on first base. Joey Replogle. Small lead. Carrington still holding him. Granillo's over at first or third base. Here's the payoff pitch from Fernandez. Lifted up into the air, and it'll go foul. So we'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Batter on deck is Christian Gastelum, center fielder for the Marlins. McClure steps back in. Fernandez comes set. Here's the 3-2. This one misses outside, didn't threaten the zone. Ocampo is going to call time and talk to his pitcher. Bases are now loaded here with 1 out in the top of the first. Again, we're getting an early look here at the Barons ahead of their 2025 summer season. First game will be this Friday, June 6th. First pitch scheduled at 6:05. If you can make it out to the ballpark, highly suggest you do. We're right off the 91 freeway here on the campus of Compton College. You can either take the Long Beach Boulevard exit or the Alameda exit. We're right here off Artesia Boulevard. Bases loaded. Corners will play in. Taylor over at third. Carrington at first. First pitch to the center fielder, Gastelum, misses high. Gastelum wears number 7. He's a freshman, uncommitted. Also listed as a pitcher. This one tapped off the mask. It looked like of Ocampo, the catcher. Foul ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Head coach Kenny Landro going to tell Carrington to play behind the runner. Same coaching staff as last year. Manager Kenny Landro. Assistant coaches James Bishop, Lorenzo Gray, AJ Monterez, and Tank Kazarian. Coaching staff for your Academy Barons. 1 ball, 1 strike. Poked foul to the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gastelum. Fernandez had a full count to both the 2-hitter and the 5-hitter. He let both of them reach safely, so Fernandez looking for his out pitch here. Up in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Skies this one up into the air. Fernandez calls it. Now Carrington going to call him off, and he makes the catch. Infield fly. Two outs in the inning. Bases are still loaded. It'd be huge for the Barons to leave them stranded. Already 1 run has come across. It's a 1-0 game here against the Malibu Marlins. In steps the right fielder, Jacob Rosenfeld. Breaking ball, in for strike 1. That was one of the better pitches we've seen here in the early goings of Fernandez's outing. Rosenfeld, a freshman from Cal Lutheran University. Another breaking ball. Ooh, thought that was going to be another strike, but it's ruled ball 1. Close miss there by Fernandez. Granillo's the runner at third base. Replogle is the runner at second. McClure is the runner at first. 2 outs in the inning. Fernandez delivers the 1-1. It's a fastball that misses downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. A lot of freshmen on the roster for the Malibu Marlins. A lot of underclassmen. There's only 1 senior on the roster and 3 juniors. Pumps the fastball by him for strike 2. Fernandez 1 out away, 1 strike away from stranding the bases loaded here in the top of the first. Barons trail 1-0. Fernandez pitches from the first base side of the rubber. No, third base side of the rubber. 2-2 pitch is a breaking ball, and it buckles the batter. Rosenfeld is retired for out number 3. So Fernandez does strand the bases loaded, gets a big strikeout there. The Marlins do send 8 men to the plate. They get on the board first, but it could have been a lot worse. 1-0 is the score as we head to the bottom of the first. And we'll go ahead and get you the starting lineup for your Academy Barons. And they're led by head coach Kenny Landro, and he has his lineup looking like this here on this Wednesday afternoon. Batting leadoff is a second baseman, Nathaniel Williams. In the 2 spots, left fielder Antonio Lujan. Tommy Gooden will play center and bat third. In the cleanup spot, it's third baseman Colin Taylor. Jacob Klanowski will play right field and bat 5th. In the 6th spot, it's shortstop J.J. Nielsen. Jordan Carrington, who we saw at first base, will bat 7th. Alejandro Torres will do the DH duties and bat 8th, and Isaac Ocampo will round out the order, batting 9th. He was the catcher that you saw in the top half of the inning. On the mound, we'll see a left-handed pitcher by the name of Jackson Klein. So Jackson Klein gets the start here for the visiting Malibu Marlins. And we'll go ahead and get you the defense alignment behind him. Behind home plate, it's Eric Gonzalez. Over at first base, Jake Hiroki. At second, Ethan Granillo. Ethan Pena is playing shortstop. And at third base, it's Caden Dizon Sanchez. In the outfield from left to right, Brendan McClure, Christian Gastelum, and Jacob Rosenfeld. That's your starting lineup. And your starting defense here in the bottom of the first. Barons already trail 1-0. Yeah, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. We'll stream all the home games here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel live. If you can't make it out to the ballpark, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can be notified whenever we go live. Typically go live about 10 minutes before first pitch. First pitch on all the weekday and Saturday games will be scheduled at 6:05. And for the couple Sunday games we do have this year, it's a 1:05 scheduled first pitch. And first game is this Friday. Nathaniel Williams playing second base. He's a switch hitter. As he watches this one miss outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Williams wears number 6. One ball and 1 strike the count now as Klein working quickly. The lefty delivers and Williams fouls this one off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Jackson Klein wearing number 38. Pitcher from Manhattan College. This one misses the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Williams showing good discipline. Very versatile player this past year at Santa Ana College. Started at 7 different spots for the Dons this year as he drives this one into, well, it's not going to leave the infield as it goes right to the second baseman, Granillo, and he records out for out number 1. Jam shot there of Williams. First out of the inning. Now we'll see the left fielder, Antonio Lujan. And the pitcher, Klein, is a native of Santa Monica. He went to Santa Monica High School. Freshman at Manhattan College. Pitched 11 innings this past spring in 8 appearances. Finished with an ERA of 12.27. Lujan fouls the first one off. No balls and 1 strike. Lujan is a freshman from Azusa Pacific, listed as a switch hitter. So he's batting from the right side with the lefty on the mound. Here's the lefty's pitch from the windup, and it skips in the dirt. Lujan had to scoot forward to get out of the way of that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's Klein's 1-1 pitch. Tapped over to the shortstop, Pena. He gloves it. Fires it over to first in time, out number 2.
Give it to the plate for the Barons, the center fielder, number 47, Tommy Gooding.
So now we'll see the center fielder, Tommy Gooding, get his first cuts of the summer season. Wears number 47. Hits from the left side. Lefty on lefty matchup here for Klein. Fires a first pitch off speed. In for strike 1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Barons are chasing 1. He offers at this one. It's drifting into foul territory on the third base side, but there's plenty of room for the third baseman Sanchez to make the catch, and that's out number 3. So the Barons do go down 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the first. We're going to cut to our first. Back from commercial break. Top of the second inning here. The Marlins lead the Barons 1-0 here. My name is Noah Alvarez saying thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Friendly reminder, we'll be streaming all the home games here for the Barons 2025 summer season here on this YouTube channel. So if you're following one of the players on the roster, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. The 8-hitter will lead things off in the top of the second. Eric Gonzalez, the catcher, will get his first cuts. Fernandez still on the mound for the Barons. First pitch. Fires it in for strike one. Fernandez used 26 pitches to get out of the first inning. Did give up a run. He stranded the bases loaded. Breaking ball misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. He started off the inning by hitting the first batter and then issuing a walk to the number 2 hitter. So very quickly there was 2 men aboard, nobody out. Taps this one over to the third baseman, Taylor, charging, making the throw over to first. It's in time for out number 1. Taylor with good concentration, running in towards home plate, able to fire it over into Carrington in time. Carrington does have a nice long frame over at first base. 1 out of the inning, and we'll see the number 9 hitter, Caden Dyson Sanchez, third baseman for the Marlins. This one skips in the dirt, ball 1. Dyson Sanchez wears number 24, batting in the 9 spot here for the Marlins. Leadoff hitter is on deck. This is a fastball. Overpowers Sanchez, and that's strike 1 of the at-bat. Fernandez delivers a breaking ball that misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dyson Sanchez, another player uncommitted here on the roster for the Malibu Marlins. He skies this one into right center field. Klonowski gives chase and makes the catch on the run, heading towards the track. Out number 2 here in the top of the second. We turn things over to the top of the order for the Marlins. Ethan Pena, who scored the only run of the game back in the first inning. He scored on the RBI single by Joey Rapolgel. We'll see how Fernandez fares against Pena this time. It's a breaking ball on the outer half for strike 1. Another breaking ball, this one in for strike 2. Fernandez showing a lot more confidence here in the second inning than he did in the first. Settled in. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Pena, and he gets Pena to go down swinging. Strikeout, number 2 of the outing. And it's out number 3 here in the top of the second. So Fernandez bounces back, sets down the Malibu Marlins 1-2-3 in the top of the second. Very efficient, too. Only used 10 pitches in that inning. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. We'll see 4, 5, 6 due up for the Barons after this break. Back here on the MLB Academy Barons YouTube channel. Bottom of the second inning, we'll see the 4, 5, 6 hitters. Colin Tainer will lead things off here for the Barons, followed by Jacob Klanowski and then J.J. Nielsen. Two returners from last summer, as both Taylor and Klanowski played in the 2024 summer season with the Barons. First pitch from Klein misses outside. Want to know the count? This one misses downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Colin Taylor spent the past 2 seasons at LA Valley College. Offers at this one and fouls it off to the right side. 2 balls and 1 strike. A native of Tarzana, California. Went to Birmingham High School. Steps back into the batter's box, awaits the 2-1 pitch from Klein. The lefty misses inside. That one nearly clipped Taylor. Taylor's brother Gavin also on the roster here this summer. Both players went to Birmingham High School. Both players spent last season at LA Valley College. Colin Taylor lifts this one into the air, into shallow right field. Granillo going back, but it's the right fielder calling everybody off as Jacob Rosenfeld makes the catch, fighting off the sun. So 1 out of the inning. That'll be a battle all summer long as the sun does set over to our left, and that gives a lot of problems to the infielders on the right side of the infield as well as the right fielder. Rosenfeld no problem that time. First pitch to Klanowski misses upstairs. Klanowski just finished his senior season over at Cal State East Bay. He's a native of Upland, California. He fouls this one off to the left side, 1 ball and 1 strike. Klanowski played a lot of hockey growing up. As he watches this one skip in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's a big Connor McDavid fan, and Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers kicking off Stanley Cup game number 1 this evening. A rematch of last year's Stanley Cup finals as they take on the Florida Panthers. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm sure Klanowski paying attention to the NHL postseason this year. This past spring, he hit .284 in 27 starts for Cal State East Bay. Finished the season with 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Fouls this one off to the left side once again into that riverbed. Moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barons are still looking for their first base runner here in the bottom of the second, trailing 1-0. This one smoked into the right field gap. And Klanowski does record the first single, the first hit of the afternoon for the Academy Barons. 1 out of the inning, and we'll see J.J. Nielsen. So Klanowski will be over at first base. Nielsen, the middle infielder. Spent this past spring at the University of Hawaii, as this one misses down. No, it's ruled strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. He offers at this pitch. It's in foul territory. And the first baseman makes an incredible catch. Hiroki was running over towards his right, and at the last second, that ball tailed away from him. And he had to stick his glove out over to the left side. Acrobatic catch we see. Very similar to the catch we saw Carrington make back in the top of the first inning, but I think Hiroki's had a higher degree of difficulty. Now we'll see Jordan Carrington get his first at-bat of the afternoon. 2 outs in the inning. First pitch is in there for strike one. Carrington also played at LA Valley College. 6'4", big frame, also listed as an outfielder. Hits from the left side and also throws with his left hand as he chases this one outside the zone. No balls and 2 strikes. So a few players from the LA Valley Monarchs here on the roster. 0-2 pitch to Carrington. He was way in front of that curveball. And that's out number 3. So Klonowski does reach via single, however. Barons can't cash him in. They trail 1-0 as we head to the top of the third. Your score after 2 complete innings: Marlins 1, Barons 0. Thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the MLB Urban Youth Academy Barons YouTube channel. So there's a new pitcher here on the mound in the top of the third inning. Wearing number 52, it's a right-hander by the name of Hudson LaBarbera. So Isaac Fernandez got the start, goes 2 full innings, picks up 2 strikeouts, does allow 1 run to come across, but it could have been a lot worse. He stranded the bases loaded in the top of the first inning. Hudson LaBarbera will be the second pitcher we see for the Barons. Here on the evening, it's an exhibition against the Marlins of Malibu, team from the Golden Coast Collegiate Summer League. Hudson LaBarbera, he's a sophomore from Sonoma State. Spent 1 season at Orange Coast College as a freshman. Originally from Murrieta, California, out in the Inland Empire. Went to Murrieta Valley High School. So we'll start against the 2-3-4 hitters. Ethan Granillo will lead things off here for the Marlins in the top of the third inning. And thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here. First broadcast of the 2025 summer season. LaBarbera will pitch from the third base side of the rubber, and his first pitch misses. Outside. 1-0 the count. Zips this one for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Still getting a feel for the home plate umpire zone this evening. 2 balls and no strikes to count to the second baseman, Granillo. Offers and fouls this one off to the right side. The righty comes set. His 2-1 pitch misses upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to the second baseman. In foul territory, it's going to drift foul. Runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jake Hiroki in the on-deck circle. So the final line for Isaac Fernandez, he goes 2 full innings. Does issue 2 walks, 1 hit. Responsible for the 1 run that came across. Did pick up 2 strikeouts. Used 36 pitches. 3-2 pitch. Hudson Barbera gets his first strikeout of the outing. Granillo goes down for out number 1.
For the Marlins, number 22, Jake Hiroki.
So 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Hiroki will come in for his second at-bat of the evening. He's the one that fouled out into foul territory as the first pitch. Breaking ball is in for strike 1. Carrington had to go a long way and made a catch, crashing into the wall over in foul territory. But it did advance both runners 90 feet, giving the Marlins second and third as La Barbera misses. He's another pitcher from Sonoma State. 2 players on the roster for the Barons from Sonoma State. He taps this one on the ground over to the shortstop. Nielsen gathers. This one skips past Carrington and it bounces off the padding, so Williams keeps the runner over at first base. So there's a runner on first base here with 1 out in the top of the 3rd. Marlins hoping for some more runs. Already leading 1-0. We'll see if they rule that a hit or an error. In steps Joey Replogle. It's going to be an E6 on Nielsen, the shortstop. Pumps the fastball past the DH, and that's strike 1. La Barbera showing good velocity here in his first outing of the summer. He only made 6 appearances for the Sonoma State baseball team this past spring. Pitched 7 2/3 of an inning. Finished with a 9.57 ERA. Breaking ball in for strike 2. Replogle rolls his eyes at the call. No balls and 2 strikes. Runner aboard on first base is Hiroki. 1 out of the inning. Throw down from Ocampo, and back in safely with the slide is Hiroki. And we saw Ocampo last year. This was his first collegiate season this past spring. Played at Golden West College. Last summer, he was coming fresh out of high school, went to Servite High School in the Trinity League. This one's ripped into foul territory. Good contact, but Replogle couldn't keep it straight. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. Carrington holding the runner at first base. Quick move over to first base to check in on the runner. I don't think the home plate umpire gave the ready for play, so wouldn't have mattered even if he tagged him out. La Barbera comes set from the stretch. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Gets Replogle to go down fishing. That's out number 2.
Coming to the plate for the Marlins, number 4, Brendan McClure.
So 2 outs in the inning, both via the strikeout. There is a runner at first base. Left fielder Brendan McClure will come in. Reached via the walk. He was the runner at first when the bases were stranded, loaded back in the top of the first inning. This one scoots McClure out of the batter's box as it was near his feet. 1 ball and no strikes. And it was an error on the shortstop Nielsen that allowed that runner to get to first base. It's Hiroki. Jumping out to a big lead, Carrington applies the tag after the throw over, but it's not going to be in time. McClure steps back in. In the bottom of the third inning, we'll see the 8-9-1 hitters. It's the bottom of the order, plus the leadoff man, Barbera. Just missing the zone there. 2 balls and no strikes. The right-hander wanted that one. (2-0). Batter taps this one foul to the right side. Moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. And the first official game of the 2025 season. This Friday, June 6th, first pitch scheduled at 6:05. If you can't make it, you can tune into the broadcast. Here's the 2-1 pitch, also tapped to the right side of the infield. It gets into right field. Klanowski fires this over to third, but it's not going to be in time. Hiroki beats the throw. Runners at the corners after that single by McClure. Kind of just a defensive swing there, but he's able to put it into right field. And it gives a chance for Christian Gastelum. Gastelum popped up into the infield. The infield fly rule was applied as Carrington made the catch on the infield grass. First pitch is a breaking ball, and Gastelum tried to check his swing, but it's ruled strike one, says the home plate umpire. It did go around. A 0-1 pitch in for a breaking ball, in for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes here to the center fielder, Gastelum. Runners on first and third, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Marlins do have a 1-0 lead. Fastball just misses top of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Batter on deck is the right fielder Jacob Rosenfeld if Gastelum can extend the inning. Barbera checks on the runner at first. McClure has a small lead. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball. Taps this one back to the pitcher. He tosses it underhand over to Carrington, and that's out number 3. So La Barbera does allow 2 runners to reach, but he strands both of them. Gets 2 strikeouts and a big ground out there to end the inning. We head to the bottom of the third. Thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. After this commercial break, we'll have the 8-9-1 hitters, Alejandro Torres, Isaac Ocampo, and Nathaniel Williams when we come back. Just about ready for the bottom of the third inning, and like we saw a new pitcher for the Barons in the top of the third, we'll see a new pitcher here for the Marlins in the bottom of the third. Left-hander by the name of Matt Mason, went to Williamette College. He's a senior, just graduated. Again, the Malibu Marlins are of the Golden Coast Collegiate League. It's an exhibition between these two teams from two different leagues. The Barons begin California Collegiate League play, the CCL, begins this Friday. They'll take on the San Diego Bombers here at home. First pitch scheduled at 6:05. Then they'll travel to Pasadena to take on the Arroyo Seco Saints on Saturday before hosting the Santa Barbara Foresters on Sunday. First pitch scheduled at 1:05 p.m. That's the upcoming schedule for your Academy Barons. Opening week here. A new pitcher, Matt Mason, in for the Marlins. It's a big zone over on the inner part of the plate as Alejandro Torres watches. Strike one. Mason from the windup. It's an off-speed pitch that misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Torres. Torres puts this one on the ground over to the third baseman. Dyson Sanchez comes up with it cleanly and tosses it over to first in time. Looked like Torres tripped up on the first base bag as he ran through. 5-3 for out number 1. Hope Torres is okay. Now we'll see the number 9 hitter, Isaac Ocampo. And played at Servite before playing at Golden West College this spring. 1-0 the count. Mason from the windup delivers another pitch for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. Ocampo skies this one into shallow center field. Granillo going back. He can't get a glove on it, as it fell into a triangle of defenders there. Either the center fielder Gastelum or the right fielder Rosenfeld could get to it before Granillo was the closest one. So in no man's land, it's a hit. Second hit of the afternoon. The Barons will take him any way they can get him. Ocampo's now over at first base. Hiroki holding the runner. Mason with a slide step on the first pitch. And now we'll see Nathaniel Williams for the second time here this evening. And Williams spent this past spring at Santa Ana College. Had a chance to broadcast Williams all throughout the season as there's a move over to first. Ocampo back in with the slide. Williams is from Ocean View High School over in the city of Huntington Beach. He grounds this one over to the shortstop. Pena starts the double play. Williams hustling down the line, and they're going to say that's out number 2. So the double play is successful. It's a out number 3, 6-4-3. And just like that, the inning is over.
In the bottom of the third inning for the Barons, there were no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. There was no one left on base.
So 10 pitches for the new pitcher, Matt Mason. We'll cut to another commercial break here and be back with the top of the 4th inning. Your Barons currently trail 1-0 when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for the Academy Barons. You see the final warm-up pitch for Jeremiah Enix. He's the new pitcher coming into the game. He's a left-hander. That name sounds familiar. He did play for the San Diego Sunrays, a team that the Barons saw a lot of last summer season in 2024. Enix will wear number 20. He's a 6'2" left-hander. Weighs 195. Played at Coppin State this past season. He's a junior. He'll face the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Rosenfeld will lead things off for the Marlins. Bottom of the order. Enix pitching from the third base side of the rubber and misses with the first pitch. 1-0 the count. Rosenfeld struck out looking to end the first inning. 7, 8, 9, bottom third of the order. Cuts at that one, but he's behind. 1 ball and 1 strike. Upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, here in the top of the 4th, Malibu Marlins lead 1-0 over your Academy Barons. An exhibition game between these two teams. Another fastball, another swing and miss there by Rosenfeld. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch from the left-hander. Misses downstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Enix played for the San Diego Sunrays last summer. Three-two pitch misses inside, so Enix loses the batter there. It's a leadoff base runner for the Malibu Marlins.
Coming to the plate for the Malibu Marlins, number 42, Eric Gonzalez.
So runner on first. Eric Gonzalez, the catcher. We'll get his first look at Enix. Throw down to first base. On target. Carrington applied the tag, but not in time to beat Rosenfeld. There was a strike on the pitch. 0-1 the count to the catcher, who grounded out to the third baseman. Taylor made a nice play charging in from his normal position. Runner takes off for second. Ocampo got a high throw. Here's the throw down. It skips past Nielsen, but not too far into the outfield as William corrals it quickly. Throw was over to the second base side of the bag, and it clipped off the batter as he was sliding, or the runner as he was sliding into the base. 1 ball and 1 strike, nobody out. There's a runner in scoring position here for the Marlins. Enix misses inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. We've seen that same pitch be called a strike earlier, but it misses the zone there. Fastball has been successful for Enix as he powers it past Gonzalez for strike 2. Pronounced Enix, so apologies to the Enix family. Jeremiah Enix on the mound for the Academy Barons from Anchorage, Alaska. Breaking ball misses wide. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Before playing at Coppin State this past spring, he spent 2 seasons with the College of the Desert Roadrunners. Over in Palm Desert, here in the Southern California area. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gonzalez fouls this one off into the netting. So back-to-back hitters have gone full count against Enix. He's the new pitcher on the mound. Third pitcher we're seeing here this evening. Very traditional here at the beginning of the season. Got all the arms some work in. 3-2. This one's tapped right back to the pitcher. Enix will look back the runner over to second base. Carrington wasn't able to put his foot on the bag. It was a soft throw lofted in from Enix, and that forced Carrington to step a couple steps away from the bag. Now there's runners on first and second. Enix did a nice job of getting off the mound quickly and getting to that ball. And he just lofted it. Now we'll see the 9-hitter. Dyson Sanchez watches this one miss upstairs. 14 pitches, and Enix is still yet to record an out. Again, the left-hander, third pitcher of the evening here for the Barons. Seen that same pitch called a strike earlier in the broadcast, but it's ruled ball 2 here in the at-bat. Three balls and no strikes. So Enix missing on 3 straight here. Batter on deck is Ethan Pena, the leadoff hitter for the Marlins. 3-0 is in the zone. A little two-seam tail action on that. Dyson Sanchez flew out to right field in his first at-bat. He offers at this one and way behind the fastball there. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Here's the payoff pitch from Enix. This one, it's a bullet over to left field, and they're going to hold the runner at third base. Taylor gets the cutoff, and now the bases are loaded here for the Marlins, and the top of the order due up. So a rough start to the inning for Jeremiah Enix. We'll see how he gets out of this. The Barons did strand the bases loaded in the top of the first. There was Isaac Fernandez on the mound. Was able to get 2 outs with the bases loaded, limiting the damage to just 1 run coming across in that top of the first inning. First pitch to Pena misses upstairs. Another one misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Throw down over to third base. Taylor's just going to gather it. 3 balls and no strikes here to the count. Correction, 2 balls and 1 strike. There was ruled out a strike there after the throw down by Ocampo. Pena comes up empty on the swing there, and it's a 2 ball and 2 strike count. Pena struck out swinging to end the top of the second inning against Isaac Fernandez. He was hit on the very first pitch of the game. Here's the 2-2 from Enix. That one didn't threaten the zone, and he runs the count full now to 4 straight batters. He lost Rosenfeld on a walk. Gonzalez was able to reach on an infield single. And then Dyson Sanchez recorded a single. 3-2, Pena swings and misses there. Big out number 1 for Enix. 2 strikeouts now on the outing for Ethan Pena.
For the Marlins, number 19, Ethan.
Ruled strike 1 to Ethan Granillo. Bases are still loaded here for the Marlins in the top of the 4th inning. They lead 1-0. Enix hoping to keep it at that same score. Breaking ball, that was the best one that we've seen thus far. No balls and 2 strikes. Enix back onto the rubber. Here's the 0-2. High and wide with the fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Enix played this past season at Coppin State. One ball, 2 strikes. Powers a fastball, but it's fouled off at the last second off of Ocampo. So Granillo will gets new life. 1 ball and 2 strikes will do it again. This one misses outside, and Ocampo had to lay out to make that grab there. Very dedicated effort there to keep the runner at third base and everyone else staying put on the base paths. Granillo fouls this one off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Next pitch will be number 30 for Jeremiah Enix. Only 1 out of the inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The third pitcher we're seeing here this evening. Isaac Fernandez started the game. Hudson LaBarbera pitched the 3rd inning. The lefty misses down and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Started to go around. They appeal down to first. No swing, says the first base umpire. So Granillo works the walk with the bases loaded. That'll drive in a run. Rosenfeld will touch home plate. For the second run of the game for the Malibu Marlins. Gonzalez will go to third base. Dyson Sanchez goes to second. Base is still loaded. And Jeremiah Enix, a lefty from Coppin State. If you're like me, you got no idea where that was. It's in Baltimore, Maryland. But again, he's a native of Alaska, went to or grew up in Anchorage before moving down here to play at College of the Desert, a community college school out in Palm Desert, not too far from Palm Springs. Spent 2 seasons there and then transferred to Coppin State over in Maryland, so on the East Coast, a well-traveled individual. He made 10 appearances for Coppin State this past year, 17 2/3 of an inning. He'll face Jake Hiroki now. Bases still loaded. 1 out in the inning. Hiroki misses at the first pitch. 0-1 the count. Hiroki comes up empty on another swing there. No balls and 2 strikes. He reached via the error by the shortstop Nielsen. 0 for 1 on the evening. Enix picks up a big out number 2 there on the strikeout. Enix, 3 straight swing and misses. Sets down Hiroki for out number 2. Now we're going to see Kenny Landro make his way to the mound. Second mound visit of the inning. Enix really labored through that inning. Had to throw 33 pitches. 2-0 is the score. We're going to cut to a commercial break, but before we do, we'll get you the name of the new pitcher coming in for the Barons. Bases loaded here in the top of the 4th. 1 run has already come across. So the new pitcher is a right-hander by the name of Henry Sorman. We'll tell you a little bit more about Sorman when we come back from this commercial break. So the new pitcher who we mentioned before break is Henry Sorman. He's a right-hander standing at 5'8". Played at El Camino College last season. Native of Gardena, California, went to Sarah High School, private school over in the city of Gardena. Freshman for the El Camino Warriors. This one misses outside. The bases are loaded, so Sorman inherits a tough situation to be in. Fourth pitcher we're seeing here for the Barons this evening. First strike of the AB. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Replogle, the DH. On the outer edge for strike 2. We've seen the calls be wide on both sides of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases still loaded. Breaking ball, just missing down and away. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rosenfeld scored the only run of the inning thus far. 2 walks allowed by Jeremiah Enix along with 2 hits. Responsible for the run along with the 4 base runners. And this one A fastball that sets down Rapogel. That's out number 3. So the call to the bullpen. Henry Sorman delivers out number 3 and strands the bases loaded. Barons trail 2-0. We have the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll wait to see if there's a new pitcher coming out for the Malibu Marlins. It is the same pitcher in Matt Mason. So we'll see Matt Mason, the lefty, on the mound for the Marlins. And when we come back from commercial break, we'll have the 2, 3, 4 hitters: Antonio Lujan, Tommy Gooden, and Colin Taylor. And it's the first broadcast of the 2025 season here in the summer. However, the first game will be this Friday as the Barons take on the San Diego Bombers, a new team here to the California Collegiate League. They'll have 2 games here at home in the opening weekend, Friday at 6:05 against the Bombers, and then they'll host the Santa Barbara Foresters Sunday, first pitch scheduled at 1:05. He's streamed here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, so if you can't make it out to the ballpark, you can tune into the live stream. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you get an alert every time we go live with the broadcast. See the second half bat of the evening for Antonio Lujan, the left fielder, as he watches this one miss downstairs. Matt Mason threw 10 pitches to get out of the 2nd inning. Check that 3rd inning. He got an inning-ending double play as Williams grounded out to the shortstop Pena. This one's over for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to the left fielder. In his first at-bat of the evening, he grounded out to the shortstop. We'll reset the defense for you here in this half of the inning as well for the visiting Marlins. 2 balls and 1 strike. In the outfield from left to right, Brendan McClure, Christian Gastelum, and Jacob Rosenfeld. Behind home plate, it's Eric Gonzalez. At first base, Jake Hiroki. This one is skied into left field towards McClure. He comes in a few steps and makes the catch for out number 1. The rest of the defense, at second base, Ethan Granillo. Ethan Pena is over at shortstop. And at third base, it's Caden Dyson Sanchez. Now we'll see Tommy Gooden, the center fielder, popped up to the third baseman in foul territory to end the bottom of the 1st inning. He's a freshman that played or spent this past season at Vanderbilt. A very strong program over in the SEC. He rolls over this one to the right side of the infield, and it gets past Granillo. So the Barons have another base runner here, their 3rd of the evening. And now we'll see Colin Taylor come up to the plate. Gooden is a native of Thousand Oaks and went to Camarillo High School. Has pretty good speed, and we'll see if they give him the green light. He'll have to get a good read of the lefty, Matt Mason, who's on the mound. Throws over to first. Gooden stumbled a little bit as he went back to the bag, but back in safely as Taylor still awaits the first pitch. First pitch of the at-bat, right to the third baseman. He stabs at it, grabs it, throws it over to second. Not going to be in time to get two. But an acrobatic play there by Sanchez at third base, falling to his knees, backhands it, and throws it over to second base to get the lead runner.
Coming to the plate for the Barons, number 18, Jacob Klenowski.
So Taylor is aboard via the fielder's choice. Konofsky awaits the first pitch. A lefty-on-lefty matchup for Mason. Taylor not as much speed as Gooden at first base, but he draws a throw over. First pitch of the at-bat to Klenowski is in for strike one. Breaking ball misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Breaking ball misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to the right fielder. Klenowski played on the team last summer. Came on towards the halfway point of the season. Finished the summer hitting 200. Finished with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. Foul tipped off the catcher. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. There's 2 outs in the inning. J.J. Nielsen, the shortstop, is on deck. Colin Taylor, the runner, at first. Sun beginning to set here in Southern California. Lights are on here at the Academy. Mason with a long look in, and this one plunks Konofsky in his front shoulder. Looks like Konofsky will be all right as he makes his way over to first base. Always a scary moment when a pitch misses upstairs like that. Moving to second base is Taylor. Now there's 2 runners on for the Barons and a chance for J.J. Nielsen to drive in the first run of the evening. The Barons are trailing 2-0. The Marlins got 1 run in the first and then 1 run in the top of the 4th just now. Nielsen steps in, awaits the first pitch from Mason, and he foul tips it off the catcher. 0-1 the count. Nielsen is a native of Cerritos, California. He went to Long Beach Jordan High School. Played both football and baseball at Long Beach Jordan and committed to the University of Hawaii to play both sports. Currently in the transfer portal. As he skies this one into left field, it drops in front of the left fielder. Getting the wave at third base is Colin Taylor. Here's the throw to third, and it's in time to get Klenowski. The run does count, so it is a 2-1 game. Taylor scores, but gunned out at third base is Klenowski. 7-5 on the putout. The left fielder McClure with a strong throw into third base. Sanchez, he applied the tag, but it's an RBI single for Nielsen. Your Barons trail 2-1 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back after this commercial break. So top of the 5th inning, we'll see the 5, 6, 7 hitters. Brendan McClure will lead things off. He gets credited with the assist that ended the bottom of the 4th inning. It was Klonowski who was trying to go first to third, and McClure made a strong throw over to his teammate Sanchez. McClure offers at the first pitch into shallow left field. Coming in is Lujan, and it squirts out to his glove. That was in the glove as Lujan made a slide. He had to deal with Nielsen coming out from his shortstop position onto the outfield grass. I'm sure Lujan will tell you, though, he needs to make that catch. Leadoff runner here for the Marlins. So runner on first. Same pitcher still out for the Barons, Henry Sorman. He came in with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. First pitch from Sorman to the 6th hitter is in for strike 1. So McClure reaches. He's at first base. And Sorman from El Camino College played this past season for the Warriors. In for strike 2. The center fielder steps back in. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Sorman. It's a breaking ball sweeping across the zone. Good idea. Castellum shows good discipline there on that last pitch. One ball and 2 strikes. Castellum pokes this one right up the middle. It sneaks its way into center field. Gooden will play it back into his cutoff quickly, and there's now runners on first and second. An error followed by a single. Jacob Rosenfeld now. Will step into the batter's box. Rosenfeld worked a walk. Came around to score the only run in the top of the 4th inning. Marlins lead 2-1. This one gets away from Ocampo, but not too far, so the runners stay put at where they're at. Henry Sorman this past spring for the El Camino Warriors appeared in 9 games, pitched 25 innings, finished with an ERA of 5.04. 18 strikeouts in those 25 innings. Waiting for the strike call there, but it's ruled ball 2. Rosenfeld struck out swinging back in the 1st inning. He stole second when he was aboard in the top of the 4th. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Lightly tapped on the ground over to Nielsen. He's going to turn the double play, but over to first, not going to be in time. So they do get the lead runner. Runners at the corners. A slow ground ball over to the shortstop. Would have been tough to churn 2. They do get the lead runner. 1 out in the inning. 6-4 on the putout. Rosenfeld reaches via the fielder's choice. Gonzalez will step into the batter's box, but not before Isaac Ocampo gives the signs to his defense. Marlins hoping for another run here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch fastball misses downstairs. 1-0 the count. And the Marlins are a member of the Golden Coast Collegiate League, led by the coaching staff of Stu Stells. Greg Granillo. Move over to first base. Carrington applied the tag. A close play, but umpire says Rosenfeld beat the throw. But coaching staff for the Marlins, Stu Stells, Greg Granillo, Mike Crosby, and Braden Stells. Another quick throw over. Throw was a bit higher this time, so Carrington didn't get to apply the tag. And the Barons are led by manager Kenny Landreau. Runner bluffed like he was taken off for second. It's ruled strike one to Gonzalez. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Rosenfeld being very active over there at first base. Quick throw over on the big lead, but Carrington had to dig that throw out of the dirt. Didn't get a clean tag. There's no pitch clock here in the California Collegiate League and no limit to how many throws over to a bag. As this one's blooped into foul territory, Carrington started running that way, but will head back to first base as it drifts out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another move over to first base, another close play. Back in safely is Rosenfeld. The 4th thrown over or pickoff move we've seen from the pitcher, Sorman. Sorman delivers a pitch below the knees, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gonzalez had that comebacker to Enix when he was on the mound, and he reached first, beating the throw. Another blooper. Carrington gives chase, but he watches it drift out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count remains. It was a bang-bang play for Enix, who came off the mound quickly, but he lofted it over to first, and it wasn't in time to get Eric Gonzalez. That was his last time up. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Another big lead. This one gets Rosenfeld over at first base. Score it 1-3 for out number 2. Rosenfeld was trying to get to a big lead. Pays the price there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. The breaking ball misses upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's still a runner at third base, and Brendan McClure. Past the diving Taylor, and that gets into left field. That'll score a run for the Malibu Marlins. It's a stand-up double for Eric Gonzalez, his second hit of the contest, and it's his first RBI. The Marlins now take a 3-1 lead here in the top of the 5th.
Coming to the plate for the Marlins, number 24, Caden Dyson Sanchez.
So still 2 outs, a runner on second base. In steps the 9-hitter, Dyson Sanchez. The third baseman has made a few nice plays defensively for the Marlins. First pitch misses upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Get an RBI double for Eric Gonzalez. He's aboard at second base. Drove in Brendan McClure. It's an unearned run. Into the 5-6 hole, gets into left field. Lujan will grab it, but the throw is going to be cut off. No, it gets past the cutoff man into the backstop, and now heading to second is Dyson Sanchez. So an RBI single, advancing to second on the throwing error. Second run in the inning. 4th run of the contest here for the Marlins.
The Marlins, number 11, Ethan Pena.
Now we'll see Ethan Pena come up for his 4th at-bat. Sorman misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Pena was hit by the very first pitch of the game and then has struck out twice. Once in the second, once in the fourth. Missing the bottom of the zone. In the second inning, he struck out against Isaac Fernandez, and in the fourth, he struck out to Jeremiah Enix. Pena skies this one into left center field. Tommy Gooden says he has it. Collects it for out number 3, but not before 2 runs come across here in the top of the 5th. The Marlins extend their lead. 4-1 now is the score. Okay, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. My name is Noah Alvarez. I'll be here for almost every home game here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. So if you can't make it out to the ballpark and you're here listening, supporting one of the players on the roster, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can be up to date whenever we go live and tune into all the home games. There's 2 home games here in this opening week for the California Collegiate League. The Barons host the San Diego Bombers this Friday. First pitch scheduled at 6:05. And then the game on Sunday against the Santa Barbara Foresters. First pitch scheduled at 1:05 p.m. We'll be there for both those games. You can tune into the live stream here on the MLB Academy Barons YouTube channel. A new pitcher coming in here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A left-hander. As we pull up the roster and get you a name. The new pitcher is Devin Goner. So Devin Goner is the new pitcher. He's from Concordia. He's a freshman, an incoming freshman. So just graduated the high school rankings. He'll face the 7, 8, 9 hitters, the bottom third of the order. Jordan Carrington, Alejandro Torres, and then Isaac Ocampo. Matt Mason's day is done after 23 pitches, a very efficient 2 innings. He did give up the only run. It was an earned run. Could have been a lot worse, though, as Colin Taylor, no, it was Kalinowski who ran into the out over at third base, and Brandon McClure made a nice throw from left field to retire the runner. The Malibu Marlins pitchers have done a nice job of not allowing free base runners. No walks have been allowed by the Marlins pitchers. This is the 3rd pitcher we're seeing of the evening thus far for the Marlins. And the head coach, Stu Stells. Okay, the new pitcher is Devin Goner. He'll face Jordan Carrington to lead things off here, as it's an off-speed pitch in for strike 1. Carrington fouls this one off into the netting. No balls and 2 strikes to count to the first baseman. He struck out swinging. He went against the lefty Jackson Klein. This one skips in the dirt past the catcher. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Devin Goner is the new pitcher into the game for the Malibu Marlins. An exhibition match between these 2 teams here on this Wednesday evening. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count. It was Jackson Klein who started the game, who went 2 innings, only allowed 1 hit and struck out a batter. Carrington goes down swinging for out number 1 here to lead off the bottom of the 5th. After Jackson Klein, it was Matt Mason, who also went 2 innings. Didn't record a strikeout, but he did allow 2 hits and gave up 1 earned run. Strike one called on the outer edge. Alejandro Torres. In for his second at bat of the evening. He grounded out to the third baseman. Maybe a bit downstairs, but it's ruled strike two. Torres rips this one into foul territory. Caught a good barrel, but it's going to go past the bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes. The count remains. Batter on deck is the 9-hitter Isaac Ocampo. Torres chases one outside the zone. Back-to-back strikeouts here for the pitcher Devin Goner. Just entered the game and throwing some pretty good stuff on the mound, keeping these Barons hitters off balance. Now we'll see Isaac Ocampo step in. Barons trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch misses upstairs to Ocampo. Catcher had a single back into shallow right field in the 3rd inning. 2-0 the count. Again, Ocampo spent this past spring at Golden West College. We've seen a lot of Golden West College players here at the academy the past few summers. Last year they had players like Dylan Lena, Andrew Kirchner, Andrew Stanley, along with a few others. A member of the 2024 team here in the Summer League. Ocampo bloops this one into shallow right field. No problem for Granillo as he walks out onto the outfield grass, not very far. And that's out number 3. So the Barons go down in order. New pitcher Devin Goner with an efficient and effective outing here in the bottom of the 5th. We turn it over to the top of the 6th inning. Thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball. We'll be back after this commercial break. So we got a new defense for you at the academy. We'll go ahead and get you some of those substitutions when they come up to bat. A little easier that way. But the new pitcher on the mound is a right-hander by the name of J.J. Nolan. J.J. Nolan pitched this past spring at Cal State Dominguez Hills. We can give you the new catcher. As we can see his number pretty clearly, it's Joel Cervantes. Does look like Tommy Gooden in center and Colin Taylor at third stayed into the game. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Ethan Granillo. Top of the 6th inning, so we'll start seeing some substitutions for both these teams. Breaking ball misses upstairs. Two balls and 1 strike. Again, J.J. Nolan, the new pitcher. 5th of the evening we're seeing here for the Academy Barons. Ball 3. It was Isaac Fernandez who started the game. Hudson La Barbera came in to pitch the 3rd. Jeremiah Enix got 2 outs in the 4th. Henry Sorman went an inning and a 3rd, and now we're seeing J.J. Nolan here in the top of the 6th. Marlins lead 4-1. This one misses downstairs. So ball 4. A walk issued here to lead off the inning. First baseman Jake Hiroki will now make his way to the batter's box. Hiroki struck out swinging in his last at-bat. Went down on 3 pitches. Cervantes, one of 3 catchers here on the roster for the Academy Barons this summer. Last played for UC Riverside, a native of Eastvale, California. Taking over catching duties here for Isaac Ocampo. Runner takes off for second base. It aids him there as they still throw it over to second. Runner is safe at second, however, at first base. They do get an out there. Granillo was on the move. So 6-4-3, even though it's only 1 out, still recorded 6-4-3. Hiroki's out. There's a runner in scoring position, though, for the Marlins. Again, we'll get you the new defense or the new players in the lineup for the Barons when they come up to hit. Nolan delivers a first pitch strike to Rapolgel. Pitch misses upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rapolgel had a RBI single back in the 1st inning, but since then he's had back-to-back strikeouts. 1 for 3 on the evening. Also played at Sonoma State this past spring. The final season for the Sonoma State athletic program. Started to go around there. Home plate umpire said that's strike 2. Runner on second. Granillo got off to a big secondary. The Barons defense will have to keep a better eye on him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brendan McClure is on deck. Nolan misses outside. A lot of sweeping action on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marlins lead 4-1. It's the first broadcast here, but it's an exhibition game between the Marlins and the Academy Barons. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count goes full. So it's a full count here. Nolan back onto the rubber. Let's see what he throws here. Catches the outer part of the zone. That's strike 3 looking. Rapolgel shakes his head in disappointment. The zone has been a bit inconsistent this evening, but it's their warm-up game too. The players get an exhibition game. Umpires get an exhibition game. Chance to feel things out on the strike zone this season. Can't call it bogus just quite yet. 2 outs in the inning. There's a runner on second. McClure steps back in. Here's the first pitch from Nolan. McClure taps this one onto the right side of the infield. Slipping in the outfield grass and now getting away from the first baseman on home. So scoring all the way from second there on that error is Ethan Granillo. A wacky play there. The new second baseman is Chip Mertz. He fielded that one pretty cleanly, but once he got into the outfield grass, you saw him lost his footing, and then he wasn't able to make the throw in time. The new first baseman, Jason Del Villar, had it pop out of his glove, and he wasn't able to make the throw to home in time to get the runner. E4. It's an unearned run here for the Marlins. They lead now 5-1. So now J.J. Nolan's going to ask for a new baseball. 1 ball and no strike is the count to Christian Gastelum. Barons trail 5-1 here on this exhibition game on this Wednesday evening. Temperatures have cooled down a significant amount here in the city of Compton. Gets pretty cool in the evenings here, still in the month of June. So we do have some defensive substitutions over at shortstop. It's DJ Akiyama. Chip Mertz, who we mentioned, at second. Jason Del Villar at first. Hunter Backstrom over at right field. And Joel Cervantes, the new catcher. 3 straight misses now to the center fielder. Four straight misses there by Nolan. He issues a free pass to Gastelum. Runners at first and second now. Looks like the catcher, Joel Cervantes, going to go ahead and talk to his pitcher, try and calm him down. Again, 5th pitcher of the evening here we're seeing for the Barons.
The Marlins number 43, Jacob Rosenfeld.
So pep talk is over. Into the batter's box is the right fielder, Jacob Rosenfeld. First pitch fastball misses upstairs. Rosenfeld reached on a fielder's choice, but then he was picked off over at first base back in the 5th inning. Reached on a walk in the 4th. 0 for 2 on the evening. Foul tipped off the mask of Cervantes. There's still 2 outs in the inning, so the Barons are 1 out away from getting out of this jam. Nolan comes set, delivers on home. This does get away from Cervantes, but it's ruled strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maybe got crossed up on the signs there. Breaking ball missing upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the bottom of the 6th inning, we'll see the top of the order. 1, 2, 3. We'll see the first at-bat for Chip Mertz, Antonio Lujan, and then Tommy Gooden if both of them stay into the game. Fouled off to the right side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll do it one more time. Eric Gonzalez is the batter on deck. Malibu Marlins have 5 runs off of 6 hits, no errors defensively. The Barons have 1 run off of 4 hits and 2 errors defensively. Catching the bottom of the zone, that's strike 3. So big strikeout there for J.J. Nolan and the Barons. They trail now 5-1 as one more run comes across here in the top of the 6th inning. Top of the order due up for the Barons. We're going to see some new players as they were made a bunch of substitutions. It does look like it's the same pitcher on the mound for the Malibu Marlins in Devin Goner. And my name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. An exhibition game between the Malibu Marlins and the Academy Barons. Bottom of the 6th inning when we come back from this break. Bottom of the 6th inning, your Barons are currently trailing 5-1. Thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on this Wednesday evening. We'll see the 1-2-3 hitters due up. Pinch hitting for Nathaniel Williams is Ethan Chip Mertz. Ethan Mertz played this past season for the Canyon Comanches. He was a senior in high school this past spring. Stands at 5'10", 170 pounds. Whereas number 9 getting his first at-bats of the evening here. Pokes this one on the ground over to the right side. Granillo makes a wide throw, and now Mertz going for second, showing good speed. And so now the Marlins make their first error defensively. Let's see if the Barons can capitalize.
For the Barons, number 32, Antonio Lujan.
In steps the left fielder now, Antonio Lujan. Runner in scoring position here for the Barons. They plated a run back in the bottom of the 4th, but have been quiet since then. An off-speed pitch, catching the zone for strike 1. This one skips in the dirt and clinks Lujan's front leg, so that's going to be a hit by pitch. The runner will have to go back to second base. There's runners on first and second. Goner had an efficient bottom of the 5th inning. Set down the side in order, 2 strikeouts, and then got a weak pop-up to record all 3 outs and retire the side in order. But first 4 pitches here of the 6th inning have been a struggle. Now we're going to see Tommy Gooden, a lefty-on-lefty matchup here, the freshman from Vanderbilt. Recorded a single back in the 4th inning. First pitch misses high to Gooden as he had to lean out of the way. 1 ball, no strikes. Lujan at first. Chip Mertz over at second. Goner's command is not what it was last inning. The lefty struggling here. Some activity in the Malibu Marlins bullpen we can see from our angle, but can't see a number. 3 straight misses here to the 3-hitter. Colin Taylor's spot on deck. It does look like he's prepared to go hit, so no substitution for Taylor here in the bottom of the 6th. Mertz going to take off for third base. This one gets sent into left field. Because it was ball 4, Mertz was going to be a rewarded third base regardless, but a wide throw by the catcher plates another run here for the Barons. Runners on first and second. 5-2 is the score. So still 2 more runners on here for the Barons. Nobody out. In steps a veteran bat here in Colin Taylor. Taylor on the evening reached on a fielder's choice and then flew out to right field, 0 for 2. First pitch misses upstairs. We'll see how long of a leash, and right as I say that, there's going to be a mound visit here for the Malibu Marlins and the coaching staff, along with Devin Goner on the mound. And thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. If you're supporting one of the players here and plan on tuning in this entire summer season, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hopefully on weekends we'll have the broadcast class here at the Academy and have a different production. Right now we're just going with the 1-camera production here at behind home plate. But as we did in the very last game of the 2024 season, when the class comes out, we'll have different camera angles along with player interviews and other things to offer here in the broadcast this summer. This one gets Taylor in the elbow pad. He's awarded first base. Bases are loaded now. Nobody out. 1 run has already come across. And it was Mertz who was going on the 3-0 pitch. It missed, so he was going to be safe at third base whether the throw beat him or not. But the catcher airmailed it into left field. Big spot here for Hunter Backstrom. Coming in to hit for Jacob Konofsky. Backstrom spent this past season at West LA College. Offers at the first pitch and fouls it back into the padding. Looks eager to hit. Nobody out. Barons trail by 3. He represents the leading run. Here's Goners. Second pitch of the at-bat, and it runs inside to the left-handed hitter. 1-1 pitch. Looked like it was a bit downstairs, but it's ruled strike 2. Goner from the windup. Backstrom sends this into center field. Pretty shallow. It's going to one-hop the center fielder. 1 run will come across, and Lujan as he steps on home plate. 5-3 is the score. An in-between ball there for Gastelum, and looks like he played the safe route. It was maybe a couple of feet in front of him. Maybe the lights affected his decision there to maybe dive or slide for it. An RBI single for the pinch hitter, Hunter Backstrom. He's aboard at first base. Taylor moves to second, and Tommy Gooden goes to third. First pitch of the at-bat to DJ Akiyama. Misses upstairs. Akiyama is another player, well-traveled on the roster. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's from a town called Aiaya in Hawaii. Two balls and 1 strike. Right out of high school, he committed to St. Martin's University in Washington. Then after that, traveled to Salinas to play at Hartnell Junior College. Back in the 2023 season, as he lifts this one into the air, the left fielder doesn't see it, and it lands in left field in fair territory. 1 run will come across there, Now Backstrom caught between second and third. He's in a pickle. Taylor stayed put at third base instead of trying to go home. Advancing over to second is DJ Akiyama. It's an RBI single. Five to 4 now is the score. Barons trail by 1. One out of the inning. 2 runners in scoring position. The infield's going to come in for the Marlins. First pitch swinging into the 5-6 hole. That'll play 2 more runs. Here comes the throw. They put the brakes on. Akiyama will stay put at third base, so 1 run will come across. It's now a tie game here in the bottom of the 6th. 4 runs have come across. There's still only 1 out of the inning. 3 straight RBI singles here by the Academy Barons. First and third, Akiyama the runner at third. Jason Del Villar over at first base. The pinch hitters making some noise here for the Barons in the bottom of the 6th, tying things up. Alejandro Torres has to await the first pitch as Goner was told to step off by somebody in his dugout. Nearly hits Torres as he backs out of the way. Want to know the count. Torres takes a big swing and he comes up empty there. 1 ball and 1 strike. This will be the 31st pitch of the outing for Devin Goner. Looks like there's a pitcher ready to go in the bullpen. Torres lifts this one into the air. It's in foul territory and it's going to drift out of play. Alejandro Torres steps back in, the outfielder from Hope International University. With the 1-2 count, runners on first and third. There's 1 out of the inning. Fouled back into the netting. And this inning started off with an error by the second baseman, Granillo, and that's all the Barons needed. Mertz was on second when Lujan was hit by a pitch. Tommy Gooden drew a walk, and with the bases loaded, Hunter Backstrom was able to deliver an RBI single. This one gets ripped into left field off the wall, so that'll play 1 run. Gunning for third now, and getting the wave here is the runner Del Villar. The throw's offline, and that's the 7th run of the evening for the Barons. A 2 RBI double for Torres. So just like that, a big inning here for the Barons. They now lead 7-5. Looking for more runs this inning, but they'll have to face a new pitcher as it's the second mound visit. And with that, we'll cut to a commercial break here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. So we're back here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll see Joel Cervantes get his first at-bat of the evening. Barons now have a 7-5 lead as he cuts at the first pitch and fouls it back into the netting. 0-1 is the count. New pitcher is Kenny Montgomery. Barons have already pushed across 6 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. There's only 1 out in the inning. They chase Devin Goner out of the game. Oh, 0-1 the count as Cervantes steps back in. Came in as a defensive substitution the last half inning. Last played at UC Riverside, the 2024 season. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. This is the 9th man to come up to the plate for the Academy Barons here in the inning. Chip Mertz on deck and would get a second at-bat of the inning. Montgomery's pitch skips in the dirt. Runner at second will scurry back to second base. Torres is the runner at second after the 2 RBI double. Again, only 1 out of the inning. Another pitch misses downstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Malibu Marlins got 1 run in the 1st, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th. Barons got 1 in the 4th and have exploded for 6 here in the 6th. And looking for more, Cervantes fouls this off behind us at the press box. It runs the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Batter on deck is Ethan Mertz. Montgomery delivers the 3-2. The third baseman ranges to his right to make the backhand. The throw is going to be wide of the first base bag. An incredible effort just to even get to that ball. Sanchez has shown some athleticism on the defensive end for the Malibu Marlins. Again, the Marlins are of the Golden Coast Collegiate League. It's an exhibition match between these two teams. There's runners now on first and third. An infield single for Joel Cervantes, and turn it over to the top of the order once again. Mertz will get his second at-bat of the inning. Watches this first pitch miss outside. Another pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. This has the making of a very big inning for the Barons. They've already pushed across 6. They now have a 7-5 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning with 1 out. They can put up a few more on the board. This one does catch the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Torres is the runner at third base. Cervantes the runner at first. Breaking ball. A lot of movement, but can't catch the zone. 3 balls and 1 strike. On deck is Antonio Lujan. Throw over to first to check in on Cervantes, but he's back in safely. Mertz fouls this one off to the left side. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 10th man to come to plate for the Barons here in the bottom of the 6th. Lujan on deck. Gooden in the hole. So the inning not over for the Marlins in Montgomery. Mertz smacks this one into shallow center field. It's the shortstop, Pena, who's deep into center field. He can't get there. They throw over to second as the runner was still halfway, waiting to see if the ball would drop or not. Another run comes across. It's now 8-5. Runners on first and second. So everything falling apart for the Marlins. Everything going the way of the Barons here in the 6th inning. 7th run to come across. Another good hitter in Lujan. The 11th man to come to bat here in this inning. Watches this one miss the zone. An RBI single for Mertz. He's over at first base. Good speed. And Cervantes ahead of him at second. One ball and one strike to count. Going back to that play, it looked like Christian Gastelum, the center fielder, started heading back and towards his left before coming in at full speed, but he didn't have the speed to get to that ball. Pena was the closest defender, but he had to go a long ways out into the outfield grass. Tall task to ask your shortstop to range out that far. Maybe the lights affected the read of Gastelum over in center field. Runners on first and second. Still one out in the inning. 2-1 in the count. The lefty awaits. This one misses in the dirt. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Tommy Gooden on deck, the freshman from Vanderbilt. Start getting close to the heart of the order here for the Barons. A lot of good hitters in the lineup. A lot of new faces. Some familiar faces from last year's team. Missing outside, that's ball 4. Bases are loaded again for the Barons. Second time we've had that in this inning. Last time it was Torres who came away with the 2 RBI double. Now a mound visit between the pitcher, first baseman, the third baseman, and the catcher.
Coming to the plate for the Barons, number 47, Tommy Gooden.
Again, Kenny Montgomery taking over as the pitcher. Inherited a pretty tough situation. 4th pitcher of the evening, we saw Jackson Klein start the game, then Matt Mason, followed by Devin Goner. Goner worked a 1-2-3 inning in the 5th, but ran into some trouble here in the 6th. Only recorded 1 out before being pulled. This one nearly plunks Gooden on the front arm as the breaking ball misses inside. Gooden awaits the 0-1. 2-0 the count. Gooden reached via the walk back in his at bat earlier this inning. Into the netting for a foul ball. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Gooden's 1 for 2 on the evening with the run scored. He had a single back in the 4th. Popped out to the third baseman in foul territory. In the dirt, and Gonzalez does a nice job of sliding to the right to block the baseball. Three balls and 1 strike to count. Montgomery looking for a strike. Can't buy one there. It's a free pass. Another run will come across here for the Barons. Cervantes steps on home plate, making it a 9-5 game.
Coming to the plate for the Barons, number 13,
Now the 13th man to come to the plate here for the Barons in this half of the inning. 8 runs have come across already. They lead 9-5. It's a first pitch strike to Taylor. Taylor was hit by a pitch in his at-bat earlier in this inning. This one misses in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Taylor wears that elbow guard on his left elbow, and so the pitch hit him right there. One ball and 1 strike to count. Taylor lays off the breaking ball, sweeping outside the zone. Another pitch in the dirt, another ball, 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Montgomery really struggling here. Another arm is warming up for the Malibu Marlins in the bullpen. Taylor pulls this one foul right over the runner at third base as Mertz had to duck out of the way. It runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes is the count. Three balls, 2 strikes. Bases are loaded here in the bottom of the 6th. 9-5 is the score. 1 out in the inning. Montgomery on the mound. Taylor awaits the pitch, lays off, and it's strike 3. A delayed strike 3 called. Taylor goes down looking for out number 2. Bit too close to take. Now we'll see Hunter Backstrom again, the 14th batter to come to the plate this inning. This one dives outside. 1 ball, no strike. To the new right fielder, and came in defensively back in the top of the 6th inning in place of Jacob Klinowski. Backstrom swings and misses there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Took a healthy hack. Batter on deck is DJ Akiyama. 9-5 is the score. This one nearly gets Backstrom as he had to lean out of the way. Mertz is the runner at third. Lujan's the runner at second. Gooden is the runner at first. 2 outs in the inning. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ruled strike 2. It's been a wide zone all evening, and with things really falling apart for the Marlins here, the umpire giving a bit of leeway. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This one down in the dirt. Gonzalez was looking for it as if he didn't have it, but it was in the glove. Runs the count full. With 2 outs, the runners will be moving on the pitch. Batter on deck is DJ Akiyama. He had the RBI single earlier in the inning. Here's the payoff pitch from Montgomery. Backstrom swings and misses. That's out number 3. Big strikeout there from Montgomery and the Malibu Marlins, but not before 8 runs come across. Yes, 8 runs come across here as the Barons set 14 men to the plate. They now lead 9-5 as we head to the top of the 7th. Okay, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the MLB Academy Barons YouTube channel. After this commercial break, we'll have the top of the 7th due up for the Malibu Marlins as the 8-9 one-hitters after this commercial break. So there's a new pitcher on the mound here for the Academy Barons in the top of the 7th. It's a right-hander by the name of Jake Rice. He stands at 5'9", 160 pounds. He's a sophomore who played this past spring at Golden West College. He'll face the 8-9-1 hitters, Eric Gonzalez, Caden Dyson Sanchez, and then Ethan Pena. The Malibu Marlins were leading for much of the game. They took a 1-0 lead in the visiting half of the first. Going into the 6th inning, they were leading 4-1. They got 1 run in the top of the 6th. However, the Barons plated 8 runs in the bottom of the 6th, and now the Barons lead 9-5. The 1-0 is in for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. And Jake Rice is the new pitcher on the mound for the Academy Barons. 6th pitcher we're seeing here this evening. Isaac Fernandez started the game, then Hudson La Barbera, Jeremiah Enix, Henry Sorman, J.J. Nolan, followed by Jake Rice. 1 ball and 2 strikes, as this one is a foul ball to the right side. Again, this is an exhibition scrimmage game between these two teams. Malibu Marlins come from the Golden Coast Collegiate League. Pitch misses upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Batter on deck is the third baseman, Sanchez. Breaking ball sets down Gonzalez for out number 1. First strikeout of the outing for Jake Rice. Getting a bit chilly here in the evening. There's 1 out in the top of the 7th. Number 9 hitter coming up to the plate. Sanchez watches that first pitch breaking ball in for strike 1. Sanchez had a nice day all around. He's 2 for 3 at the plate. We've seen him make a few nice plays defensively. That's his 3rd hit as it falls into center field right over the glove of Akiyama. So Dyson Sanchez now 3 for 4 along with an RBI. All singles as he tries to make his case. Help his team get back in this one. They're trailing by 4. Throw over to first to check in on Sanchez, but he's back in standing. And Sanchez currently uncommitted, but I'm sure after today, and if he keeps this up in the summer league, he'll have a few offers on the table. First pitch to Pena misses upstairs. Another move over to Sanchez at first, and the tag was close, but umpire rules him safe. Bang, bang play. Caught him leaning the other direction. We already saw 1 runner. Rosenfeld got picked off back in the 5th inning. This one drifts away right to the right fielder, Backstrom. That's out number 2.
Coming to the plate for the Marlins, number 19, Ethan Granillo.
2 outs in the inning. There's a runner on first, and Ethan Granillo will now make his way to the batter's box. 1-0 the count. Granillo comes up empty on the swing, 1 ball and 1 strike. While he was at second base, Granillo made a error on a wide throw that really started the rally for the Barons in the bottom of the sixth. It was Mertz who grounded out to the second baseman. Should have been routine, but it was a wide throw. Runner takes off from first. Here's the throw from Cervantes. It gets sent into center field, but not deep enough for the runner to advance. A successful stolen base for Sanchez to go along with 3 hits and a few nice plays defensively. Foul ball here, makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and two the count. Sanchez is the runner at second now. There's 2 outs. Corneo in the batter's box. Hiroki in the on-deck circle. Jake Rice, the new pitcher on the mound for the Barons this inning. They peel down to first. No, he didn't, says the first base umpire. It runs the count full. Breaking ball with a lot of movement. But Rice couldn't get Granillo to go around. We'll see what he throws here, 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Rice, and Granillo goes down swinging for out number 3. So Rice effective out of the bullpen here in the top of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th, due up next for the Academy Barons here, and they'll send their 6, 7, 8 hitters, DJ Akiyama, Jason Del Villar, and Alejandro Torres, barring any substitutions. It's 7th inning stretch here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, so we'll go ahead and stay on during this inning break. We appreciate you for tuning in, wherever you may be tuning in from. If you are supporting one of the players here on the Academy Barons in the Summer League and you plan on following, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get an alert every time we go live and stream their home games. And we'll be streaming every single home game for the Academy Barons this season. Their season kicks off this Friday, June 6th, as they take on the San Diego Bombers. First pitch scheduled at 6:05 p.m. Again, that'll be here at the MLB Urban Youth Academy. It's on the campus of Compton College in the city of Compton, right off the 91 freeway off Artesia Boulevard. Very accessible if you're here in the Southern California area. And if you can't get to the ballpark, be sure to tune in to the live stream. We'll go live about 10 minutes before first pitch, 5:55, with a little pregame show. Again, I'll be on the call for almost every home game here in the Academy Barons season in 2025. The Barons will have another home game this Sunday against the Santa Barbara Foresters. First pitch scheduled at 1:05 p.m. Again, it's the opening week here of the California Collegiate League. All the teams in action this weekend. Some teams already got a few exhibition or preseason games in. The Barons will host Friday, then travel to Pasadena to take on the Arroyo Seco Saints on Saturday. And then on Sunday, they'll host the Santa Barbara Foresters. Again, first pitch scheduled at 1:05. So that's the upcoming schedule for the opening weekend here for the Academy Barons. Again, excited to be back for our second season. Last year was my first year here in the summer. Head coach Kenny Landreau managing the team as he has for almost 2 decades now. A native of Compton himself. Went to Dominguez High School and played in the major leagues for teams like the Angels, the Twins, and then the Dodgers. Helped them win a World Series back in the 1981 World Series. First pitch to Akiyama is in for strike 1. Breaking ball misses down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike to the shortstop. Again, the shortstop is a native of Hawaii. Spent his freshman season at or in Washington before moving to Salinas, California, playing JUCO ball. Then went to the University of Hawaii in 2024. Only appeared in 1 game and missed the rest of the season due to an injury, and spent this past spring in Campbell University. This one blooped over into foul territory and moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Breaking ball misses outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes in Campbell University over in North Carolina. So Akiyama's traveled around the country quite a bit playing baseball here in Southern California this summer. Works a walk to lead off the 7th inning.
Going to the plate for the Barons, number 23, Jason Delviar.
Now Jason Delviar will step in. Quick move over to first base to check in on Akiyama. Does have good speed. We'll see if he decides to test the catcher. Delviar is the native of Corona, California. Went to Corona Centennial High School. Delviar got a hold of this one as he sends it into left field. Going back at the warning track and making the catch is Brendan McClure. So just missed that one by a few feet. Delviar makes his way back to the dugout with a smile on his face, knowing he just missed that one.
For the Barons, number 31, Alejandro Torres.
A bit under it, as it was in the air for quite some time. Not a very breezy day today. Akiyama, the runner, at first. Torres steps in. Akiyama got out to a running head start. And this one drifts out of play as the new catcher gives chase, but hits the top of the shading here. 0-1 the count to Torres, who had the big 2 RBI double. With the bases loaded, it was Colin Taylor, who was hit by a pitch that drove in the first run, then an RBI single by Backstrom, followed by an RBI single by Akiyama, and then Jason Delviar, before Torres had the 2 RBI double. This pitch is in the dirt, allowing Akiyama to go to second. Wild pitch. Torres cuts and misses there. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Montgomery back onto the rubber. 1-2, lightly tapped over to the second baseman. He throws over to first in time. Out number 2 in the inning, but because it was on the right side of the infield, it allows the runner to go to third. So there's a runner 90 feet away. Barons lead 9-5. In steps Joel Cervantes. He was the first batter to face Montgomery and recorded a single. Pokes this one into right center. It's going to drop. The 10th run of the game for the Barons crosses home plate. 10-5 is the score. An RBI single for the catcher, Cervantes.
Number 9, Chipman.
2 outs in the inning. Runner on first. Cervantes picks up the RBI single. Mert steps in and watches this one miss outside. 1 ball and no strikes, the count. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Due up in the top of the 8th is the 3-4-5 hitters, Hiroki, Raplogel, and McClure, barring any substitutions. There's a throw over to first to check in on Cervantes. But he's back in safely. Mertz offers, hits this one into the air. Sanchez gives chase. It's the catcher who now pulls off, and there be some miscommunication between the two. Sanchez looked like he had a beat on it, And with that downhill angle, you like his chances better than the catcher ranging to his left with that spin. Instead, it's a second chance for Mertz at the plate. He has good speed coming out of the batter's box as well, so any soft ground ball won't be an easy play for the Marlins defense. This one misses inside, nearly got his hands. 2-1 the count to the second baseman, Mertz. He pokes this one up the middle, but didn't have a lot of speed behind it. It's an easy play at second base. Shortstop, Ethan Pena does it all himself for the third out. But one more run comes across here for the Barons. They now lead 10-5. Thanks for tuning in to Academy Baron Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Top of the 8th when we come back after this commercial break. So a few changes here in the lineup for both these teams. We're going to see a new pitcher wearing number 16, right-hander by the name of Wesley Wells, standing at 5'10". Sophomore from IMG post-grad. Has the first pitch, misses downstairs to Hiroki. Seventh pitcher we're seeing here this evening. Top of the 8th, Barons lead 10-5 over the Malibu Marlins in the exhibition game. Glad you can join us here on this Wednesday evening. Again, the first official home game of the season will be this Friday. First pitch scheduled at 6:05 p.m. If you can't make it out to the ballpark, be sure to tune into the live stream here on the YouTube channel. Hiroki comes up empty on the swing, 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Drifting foul 2 balls and 2 strikes now the count. We also had some defensive substitutions in the home half of the inning, back in the bottom of the 7th. Ethan Granillo moved from second base over to catcher. Wyatt Crosby moved from center field to second base, and playing center field now for the Malibu Marlins is Micah Klotz. 3 balls and 2 strikes as this one misses the zone. Batter on deck is Joey Replogle. Here's the 3-2. Strike 3 called by the home plate umpire. First out of the inning. Hiroki goes down looking, and that's the 3rd strikeout now of Hiroki in this afternoon's game. Replogle also has been a victim of the strikeout via 3 times. If you count all the strikeouts that the Barons pitchers have combined for. That's now 12 in the ball game. Want to know the count to the DH. He had the RBI single back in the 1st inning, but has been 0 for 3 since with 3 strikeouts. 2 were swinging, 1 looking the last time in the 6th. Has a 1-1 count. And Wesley Wells, the new pitcher, on the mound for the Barons. This one does clip. The batter, Replogle, he's going to get checked by his coach. He's rubbing his face as if he got hit in the face. It's hard to tell from our angle. It looked like he might have gotten hit in that front shoulder or across the chest. It was pretty high, but it didn't look like it got him in the face. But he's pointing towards his chin. And we hope he's okay. Hate to see that kind of stuff happen here. Just an incidental fastball that missed in and high. 1 out. There's a runner on first now. Looks like he'll stay into the game. Just past 9 p.m. this evening here in the top of the 8th. Brendan McClure watches the first pitch miss outside. 1-0 the count. The Marlins picked up 1 run in the 1st, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. Trailing 10-5 here in the top of the 8th inning, down to their final 5 outs. McClure fouls this one off to the left side. 1 ball and 1 strike now the count. Barons got 1 in the 4th, 8 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. They have 10 runs off 11 hits. Malibu Marlins have 5 runs off 7 hits. Wells misses upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count to the left fielder. It was Isaac Fernandez who started the game. Hudson LaBarbera was the 2nd man in relief. Jeremiah Enix, then Henry Sorman, J.J. Nolan, and Jake Rice. Now Wesley Wells. 3-1 the count after that pitch misses downstairs. Always a different approach here in the beginning of the season. Want to see what kind of arms you have ahead of the summer schedule. He drives this one into right field. Backstrom has a beat on it. in right field and maneuvering to his right at the last second to make that catch. Those lights can be tricky out in the outfield here at the MLB Academy. There's 2 outs in the inning. Runner on first base still, and that'll bring up Wyatt Crosby, who's now playing second base. First pitch to Crosby misses upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Crosby drew a walk in his last at bat. He's 1 for 2 on the evening. Hit a sacrifice fly back in the first inning. He singled back in the 5th. This one misses downstairs, but Cervantes keeps it close. 2-0 the count. Now looks like Wells is going to have a chat with his catcher Cervantes out in the infield grass. Quick conversation. The runner on first is Replogle. Wells delivers another strike here. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Jacob Rosenfeld is the batter on deck. If the Marlins can extend the inning, down to their final 4 outs, trailing 10-5. Top of the 8th inning. Three and 1 the count. Fastball misses upstairs. Crosby fouls this one off into the netting, and that runs the count full. 2 outs and a full count. Expect Replogle at first to be moving on the pitch. We'll see what Wells throws here, what the payoff pitch. Runner takes off, and this one gets poked out onto the right side. It's going to stay in fair territory. Backstrom gets to it on the dirt. Holding up at third base is Replogle. Now runners are at second and third. There's 2 outs in the inning. Marlins are trailing by 5, but showing some life here in the top of the 8th inning.
The Marlins number 43, Jacob Rosenfeld.
Rosenfeld's 0 for 3 on the evening. He drew a walk back in the 4th inning and scored a run, but that's the only time he's reached base. Struck him out twice looking. Also hit into a fielder's choice back in the 5th inning. 2 runners in scoring position. Marlins hoping to claw their way back into this. And Rosenfeld drives this one into right field. Backstrom going back at the tip of his glove. Makes the catch. In a dead sprint towards the wall, Backstrom was able to glove it, battling the lights and tailing off the right-hander's bat. An impressive catch in the outfield. And just like that, 2 more runners are stranded in scoring position. Barons still have a 10-5 lead. The Marlins are down to their final 3 outs. Barons are hoping for some insurance runs. If they hang on to the lead, this will be their last at-bats here in the bottom of the 8th. Due up is their 2, 3, 4 hitters. Lujan will lead things off, barring any substitutions, after this commercial break. Top of the 8th inning, we're going to see the 2, 3, 4 hitters. Antonio Lujan will lead things off for the Academy Barons. Again, they're leading 10-5. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from, or if you're watching the replay at a later date. Lujan sends the first pitch foul and towards the riverbed. There's a new pitcher on the mound wearing number 14. It's a right-hander by the name of Carlo Ramirez. Fifth pitcher of the evening for the Malibu Marlins. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Another freshman on the roster, uncommitted to a university or college next year. Hits this one on the ground sharply, but it's going to be no problem for the first baseman, Hiroki, who backs up a few steps, then steps on the bag himself. 3 unassisted for out number 1. The Barons were held scoreless the first 3 innings of this ball game. They picked up 1 run in the 4th, but it was a big 6th inning where they pushed across 8 runs in the home half of the 6th. They sent 14 men to the plate that inning. That's why they have a 10-5 lead. They also picked up another insurance run in the 7th. First pitch breaking ball to Gooden. Gooden drew a walk twice in the 6th inning. He, along with 4 other Barons, hit twice in that inning. Mertz, Lujan, Gooden, and Taylor, along with Backstrom as well. 5 players got to hit twice in the bottom of the 6th. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to the center fielder. Again, the native of Thousands Oaks. Went to Camarillo High School. And helped Camarillo win the CIF Division IV championship back in 2023. 2 balls and 2 strikes as this one skips in the dirt. Two balls and 2 strikes. Ramirez comes set on the mound. And the home plate umpire rings up Gooden. Maybe the home plate umpire wants to go home rather quickly. 2 outs in the inning. Backwards K for Gooden. Taylor now will come back to the batter's box. He was hit by a pitch and then struck out looking back in the 6th inning in his 2 at-bats. He's 0 for 3, but has scored 3 runs on the evening. He also reached via fielder's choice back in the 4th. This one misses down and away. Two balls and no strikes. The count to Colin Taylor, starting at third base this evening. Breaking ball misses the spot. It's now a 3-0 count. The batter on deck is Hunter Backstrom. Another breaking ball, and looked like that whole at bat. They were trying to pitch around Colin Taylor as he got nothing good to hit. So there's runner on first with 2 outs. Inning will stay alive here for Backstrom, the right fielder. In the top half of the inning, in the top of the 8th, made a long run over into deep right field towards the track and was able to track the ball over his shoulder and make the catch, plucking it out of the air as he watches the first pitch in for strike 1. This was in the dirt, but it doesn't get very far from the catcher Granillo now. So Taylor stays at first. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Backstrom hit an RBI single, but then ran into an out over at third base. He was trying to go from first to third, but at third base was Colin Taylor, who just went from second to third. It was on a blooper towards left field, and Taylor didn't want to test the arm and go home with it. 2 balls and 1 strike to Backstrom. Backstrom fouls this one off towards the right side, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the top of the 9th, for the Marlins, we'll see the 8-9-1 spots. Michael Klotz, Dyson Sanchez, and Pena will get in at bat barring any substitutions. This one misses in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. We'll see who the Barons bring out onto the mound. They used Wesley Wells back in the top of the 8th. Runner takes off, and this one misses downstairs. So Backstrom works a walk. Back-to-back walks issued here by Carlo Ramirez. Runners on first and second. Inning extended for DJ Akiyama.
Number 17, DJ Akiyama.
Takes a big hack, and he fouls this one off behind the fencing here, out of play. Backstrom the runner at first, Taylor the runner at second. There's 2 outs in the inning. In the dirt for ball 1. Akiyama got his first at-bat in the 6th inning, and he came through with an RBI single. On the outer edge for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. Akiyama then reached on a walk back in the 7th inning. Came around to score the only run of the 7th for the Barons. He awaits the 1-2 and watches it miss outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's 2 runners on. There's 2 outs. Batter on deck is Jason Del Villar. Ramirez comes set. The 2-2, a check swing. Home plate umpire said he did go around. That's a strikeout for out number 3. So the Barons will take their 10-5 lead into the top of the 9th inning. Due up for the visiting Marlins, 8-9-1. Michael Klotz, Dyson Sanchez, and Ethan Pena barring any substitutions when we come back after this commercial break. Back here on the MLB Urban Youth Academy YouTube channel. Barons taking on the Malibu Marlins. It's the exhibition game, first broadcast of the 2025 summer campaign. Neither team will have this game credited to their record at the end of the regular season. It's good to see the Barons back in action here this evening. Currently leading 10-5 over the Marlins. They had an 8-run sixth inning. It's now the top of the ninth inning. The Marlins are down to their final 3 outs. Michael Klotz, Dyson Sanchez, and Ethan Pena are the 3 batters due up, barring any substitutions. And my name is Noah Alvarez, saying thanks for tuning in, wherever you may be tuning in from. First official game will be this Friday, 6:05 first pitch, here at the MLB Urban Youth Academy in the city of Compton. If you can't make it out, you can always tune in to the live stream. They'll take on the San Diego Bombers Friday. They'll travel to Pasadena to take on the Arroyo Seco Saints Saturday. And Sunday, they'll host the Santa Barbara Foresters. First pitch scheduled at 1:05 on Sunday. First pitch, fires it in there for strike 1. And the new pitcher is Braden Wellen, wearing number 30. Another pitcher from Golden West College. We mentioned the connection between Golden West and the MLB Urban Youth Academy Barons team. Last year, the Barons had a reliever from Golden West by the name of Grant Ferris, along many other Golden West College players, guys like Dylan Lena, Andrew Kirchner, Andrew Stanley, guys who played at Golden West College years before, like Adam Arroyo. Another pitch misses downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Micah Klotz. And he came in as the center fielder in substitution, hitting for Eric Gonzalez's spot. They moved Wyatt Crosby from center field to second base, Granillo from catcher, or second base to catcher. 2-1 from Wellen. Klotz fouls this one off towards the right side. 8th pitcher we're seeing here this evening. Right now, Jake Rice in line to get the win for the Academy Barons. Two-two pitch from Wellen. Breaking ball on the outer edge. That's strike 3. Klotz goes down looking for out number 1. So the pinch hitter is retired. Does look like we're going to get another pinch hitter here for the Malibu Marlins. J.J. Sanchez now, player from LMU.
Your attention, please. Pitcher to the plate for the Malibu Marlins at the plate number 33, J.J. Sanchez.
He'll get an at-bat here in the top of the 9th. Barons lead 10-5 over the Marlins. And J.J. Sanchez out of LMU. Coach Ferg, the head coach over at LMU baseball program, is here earlier today. Checking out some of the talent here between these two teams. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Sanchez hitting for Dyson Sanchez. Wellen throws a fastball right by the batter. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Wellen from the windup. This one with some sharp break. Bounces off the dirt and into the netting. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Ethan Pena is the batter on deck. Wellen fires another fastball, and it's right past the bat of Sanchez. 2 strikeouts, 2 quick outs here in the top of the ninth. Pena and the Marlins are down to their final out. Pena steps in, awaits the first pitch from Wellen. First pitch is a ball downstairs. Pena flew out to right field. Back in the 7th inning. Towards the foul line. Backstrom's been busy out there. A check swing there. This one sneaks up on Mertz. It took a wild hop there. Pena will get to first base safely. An unpredictable hop there. Inning will stay alive for one more batter at least. Ethan Granillo will get another chance here. An infield single here for Pena. Wellen steps back onto the rubber. With the runner on first, Pena has a small lead. Granillo lifts this one into the sky on right field, foul territory, and Backstrom makes the catch. Very busy day in right field for Hunter Backstrom, and he records the final out. So the final score in this one, Barons 10, Malibu Marlins 5. It's an exhibition victory here for the Academy Barons. Remember, the first official home game will be this Friday against the San Diego Bombers. First pitch scheduled at 6:05 p.m. If you can make it out to the ballpark, we highly recommend you do. But if you can't, you can always tune into the live stream here on the MLB Urban Youth Academy YouTube channel. Again, my name is Noah Alvarez. For everyone who helped out with today's broadcast, we're saying thanks for tuning in, and we hope to catch you guys next time.